Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Lincoln Journal Stars 4 Downs. Luke Mullin coming at you from Memorial Stadium. We just heard from Rhule wrapping up today's National Signing Day. Huskers add 5 commits officially signing, with the program adding to the 2023 recruiting class, and finally kind of bringing an end to this 2023 recruiting cycle. Class pretty much finalized at this point. So just a couple quick takeaways to share from the class and Rhule's comments on it today. And the first thing is, of course, speed. That's something that we've seen kind of be a factor in these players' recruitments across positions, wide receiver, defensive back, linebacker, edge rusher, whatever it may be. This staff likes guys that are speedy, that have track and field background. And as Rhule said today, it's their job to bring in these great athletes and find the right spot for them. So I think what we're seeing is, hey, there's a lot of recruits coming in at wide receiver. While some of them have other positions, defensive back, edge rusher, whatever it may be, this staff is very clearly dependent on those, those physical attributes, and then they're going to figure out the rest. I think, it's a great recipe, especially when you're coming in, first class to set things up, get these dynamic athletes, find those spots, and that's clearly something Rhule and his staff worked on there in this 2023 recruiting class. And something else that was very interesting about it is Rhule said today, he had the ability to watch players' senior tape, which is kind of unique. A lot of the times these projections are being made, players are sophomores, junior year is very, very big in the recruiting world, because it sets you up, eventually going into your senior year, having those visits, narrowing things down, versus there are a lot of players in this February signing period. You look at Jeremiah Charles and Ismail Smith-Flores, they're from Arlington Martin. They only played 1 year of high school football, and these are the guys that kind of slip through the cracks or, don't get recruited as heavily because they haven't had the time to get their name out there to have several years of tape to look at. So, Rhule and his staff coming in after that busy December period, they're having the chance to evaluate these guys' senior tape, and you saw that with Smith-Flores, saw that with Charles. In fact, obviously all the guys that they signed in February was heavily based on their senior tape, which is pretty unique, in terms of the national college football landscape. Of course, every school will do their own thing where they focus on, evaluating these players, but that was something unique that kind of impacted this 2023 class for Nebraska. And as well, I thought it was also very interesting, Rhule having a couple comments today about the returning wide receivers, Xavier Betts and Isaiah Garcia Castaneda. Both those guys kind of departed from the program, put their names in the portal before Rhule arrived, and he's saying, hey, he's going to have conversations, sit down with everybody, take it all on a case-by-case basis, and adding both of these players back to the program. Garcia Castaneda appeared in 4 games there last season. Xavier Betts, year before that, was a big-time contributor at wide receiver. And, of course, that's a position group there, wide receiver. We have seen a lot of additions throughout the course of this offseason, both through the portal, through the high school ranks, and those 2 guys coming back. Again, just accumulating that talent. And that kind of leads to the 4th point about the roster numbers. This has been something that people have been talking about for a couple weeks. We have this 85-man scholarship limit to get to by the time August rolls around and the actual season starts. And, of course, Nebraska well over that with all the new additions, all the returning players. So, the question goes out to Rhule. Hey, what are you going to do about it? And realistically, there's still a lot of time to be had. Players will transfer out after the spring. The transfer portal reopens again after the spring practice window, And of course, as Rhule said, there are ways to get these guys on the team, NIL, walk on, a variety of options, to make sure players are financially taken care of while being part of the team. And again, not counting against those 85-man limits. So clearly something that they've thought about. They're not too concerned. They'll have it all in due time. Kind of the key takeaway, a lot of players coming in, but again, just trying to maximize talent in the building, fit the mold, get those athletes in was kind of the key here in February. Rhule and his staff finishing up National Signing Day. It's on to 2024 on the recruiting trail, and for them, it's on to spring practice here in a couple of weeks, couple of months, and hope you'll be along there for the journey. Again, appreciate all of you tuning in to today's 4 Downs. I've been Luke Mullin. Thanks for watching.